One, two, they go. All right, guys. So welcome back to the live stream. Welcome back to my 100 days of Power BI. So the goal is to learn Power BI for 100 days using the resources on the DataCamp platform. And today is day 2. I'm super excited. So if you missed day 1, you can watch the previous live stream to catch up with the lessons. So our goal is to learn consistently for the next 100 days and try to build quite a lot of portfolios and use dataset online to practice and improve our Power BI skills. So without further ado, let's get started. So I started the data analyst in Power BI career track a few days ago, and today is day 2. So if I go under the track section here, career track. So in my previous live stream, we've actually covered the data analyst in SQL career track. So if you are looking to improve your SQL skills or you're just starting out, you can watch those live streams to learn some knowledge. You probably learn one or two things in the live stream. But now we are focusing on the data analyst in Power BI characters, and we actually have 17 courses to cover for the next 100 days, and it is 48 hours of lessons. So we started the introduction to Power BI on the first day of the live stream. You can watch it to catch up. So I'll just continue from there today. Also, the files to practice along with me, I've dropped the link. I've actually dropped the link to the exercise files. I've uploaded the link in a drive, and the link is in the YouTube description, so you can have access to all the data sets and exercise files and practice along as you watch with me. So click the link below to have access to the files. So let's continue learning today. So the goal is to learn probably 45 minutes, 1 hour on it live stream. So I'll probably be taking a day off after today's live stream. I'll probably just take a little break tomorrow, focus on other stuff, and do the third live stream a day after. Or if I'm well chanced and well energetic, I can do a couple of 5 days along the way. But if you don't want to miss any of the live streams, all you have to do is just subscribe right now and put on the notification bell so you'll be the first to know whenever I go live, so you can catch up from the previous lessons. So you won't miss any of the lessons. So let's continue introduction to Power BI. And don't forget, you can have access to the data set using the link in the YouTube description so you can practice along also. So the last time, I think we've covered the first chapter in this course. So in the career track, there are 17 courses, and each course actually have 4 chapters. You get it now? So we've covered the lessons there. So don't forget, watch the previous live stream to catch up. We're actually moving to the chapter 2, which is transforming data. I'll just continue from here. I always love to have my slides open so I can follow the instructor along. Just a minute, please. So we are going to transforming data. Probably they will want to introduce us to Power Query. So I'll just put on my headset here so I can hear the instructor also. Okay, let the lesson begin.
Nice job so far. Let's move to transforming data. Why do we need to transform data? Well, datasets rarely come in a perfect form, and you need to transform the data to fit your needs. Depending on what you want to do, there may be columns you don't need or inconvenient and inconsistent formatting of values. Often there are processing errors that cause extra characters or blank rows. These are just a few examples. This type of transformation is often referred to as cleaning data. Previously, when you loaded data, this preview pop-up screen appeared, and we immediately loaded the data. Now, in the next exercises, we will transform first. Specifically, you will use the Power Query Editor, which is a tool that allows you to edit the data prior to loading it. You can use it to format the dataset and decide what gets loaded. The Power Query loads in another screen shown here and uses a language called M. However, you don't need to know M to use it. Note that because the Power Query Editor opens in a separate window, you'll need to close it to go back to your report. An important thing to know about Power Query is that you need to close and apply for any changes to be made to the data in the report. Alrighty, let's get started.
Okay, let me just download the slides. Okay, I need to download the slide. I don't have this chapter 2 slide yet, so I just have to quickly download that on my local machine. Okay, let's click on download. Yep, it has been downloaded right here. Okay, so it says which is not a reason for cleaning data. So there are a couple of lessons just to instill and make sure we understand what we are learning. So oftentimes there are processing errors that cause extra characters and blank values. Data sets can be very large and you don't always need all the data for your reports. When creating a report, you need to rearrange and resize the visualization so everything is readable. Let's go for this. Possible answer. Can I choose more than one answer? Select one answer. Okay. Oh, so we go for often there are processing errors that cause so we go for that. Oh, hold up. Which is not a reason, not a reason. Oh, I have to go for the last one. I didn't read that clearly. Not a reason for cleaning data. So that's the answer there. I didn't pay attention. So super duper. Although this is an important thing we do while using Power BI, it isn't cleaning data. By the time you are making visualizations, your data should be cleaned. Exactly. Let's continue learning. So Power Query Editor. Okay, we have a couple of lessons here today to do. So we can just cover that today. So I'm looking at my other screen here, just making sure I have the slide open. So the next is the Power Query Editor, introduction to the Power Query Editor.
Let's load a dimension table called dim stock item, which describes the items that are being sold. In the past, we've gone straight to load, but in the preview, we can see something weird is happening in the first rows. Let's transform the data instead. This is Power Query Editor, where we can transform the data before loading. To remove this top row holding nonsense, we can use the Remove Rows action above. It has a couple of options and we'll use Remove Top Rows. We enter 1 because we only want to remove that one row. Note the section here, Applied Steps, tracks our changes. I can go to an earlier version to see the deleted row. We can see that Power BI has automatically applied these 2 steps already when loading the data. Looking at our column names, this still needs some work. It's a common problem and Power BI has an action called Use First Row as Headers. Again, we see this change show up in the Applied Steps panel. Looking through the data, there are a couple of columns we could delete, like Valid From and Valid To. We can select them and press Remove Columns. Most importantly, we need to close and apply to save our changes. Now our changes are being applied. In the relationship view, we can see that Power BI automatically recognized a relationship with our new table, so there's nothing to do here. Back in the report view, we can pull up the Power Query Editor again by selecting Edit Query after the ellipsis here. We can edit our changes, for example, we can undo the removed columns if we change our mind. Again, we close and apply. Let's add a new page on the bottom. Here, let's make a quick visual of the color of stock item and its unit price. We'll use a clustered bar chart. Is there a relationship between color and price? We can't tell right now because our graph is showing us the sum of all the unit prices, hence it being in millions of dollars. This is because Power BI automatically sums numerical fields in a visualization. If we go here to unit price, we can change the aggregation from sum to average. There are a lot of other possibilities as well. We could take the minimum, maximum, count, or any of the other aggregation functions listed here. We see on average, red items cost the most. Okay, it's now your turn.
Okay, let's get our hands dirty. Okay, so they say you can start reading the instruction while we prepare your exercise. Transform before load. I could do this using my Power Query. My Power BI is launched there. I can use my local Power BI, my local system to do that, or I just use the interface provided. But let's see. It says context transform before load. So we want to load a data set and transform it. So raw data usually doesn't arrive in the perfect form. Let me off my camera here. So it says raw data usually doesn't arrive in the perfect form when you account for things like human errors, bugs, and file conversions. Power BI accounts for this with the Power Query editor, which allows you to transform data before loading it. In this exercise, you will load another dimension called dim customer, except unlike the others, the file will need to be edited prior to loading. If you lost progress, close any open report and load this 211 transform loader from the exercise folder on the desktop. Okay, so I have it here. It says load what 211 file. So I could just go to my local machine, my local Power BI. So also don't forget I've dubbed the files to this exercise. Just click the link in the YouTube description. You have access to them. So I could just go to open on my system. I could browse for files, or I could just directly just go to the folder here. So I have the file already, which is the data set here. It says 211. This should be it. 211 transform and load. If I check my way, 211, yes, 211 transform and load. Just so we can practice. If I launch that, that should come up now. Yep. While that is loading, we could read the instructions. So if you close any open report and load 211 transform from the exercise folder on the desktop. Okay, open the CSV file, dimcustomer.csv from datasets www folder on the desktop. Select the transform data button to navigate to the Power Query as shown in the navigation sheets. Okay, so we just close this. So unload it. So while I'm also doing that, yeah. Oh, this is still coming up. If I go to the exercise files, this is it here. The interface is pretty funny. Let's see if it's going to load quicker compared to my local machine here. Why is it still coming up? Come on. Why is it taking time to load? Wow, this has come up. Guess I have to use this to solve the problem then. So I think this is a blank workbook. Yeah, it's loading. Oh, much more faster than mine. Seriously? I'll probably just close that and use the local, the one provided by DataCamp. I'll use the interface then. Yep, I'm back. So the instruction says we should load data sets. So I'll just go to get data here. CSV. We are aiming for CSV. So data sets, this folder, oh, it said customer.csv. We are loading this. Select transform data button to navigate to Power Query. Okay, next. So we are clicking on transform. So we want to transform the data sets. Transform. So we're in the Power Query editor. So what's the instruction? We go the first row. Oh, that's quite simple. The first row, that should be remove rows, remove top row. So it's going to ask for how many rows do you want to remove. So I'll just say one. You should remove one row from there. Next, remove the first row. It contains mostly blanks and does not provide any information. Make the resulting first row the header. So we want to make this first row the header. So I'll just say use first rows as headers also. Use first rows, use headers as first row. Use first rows as headers. Where is the difference? Let's see if we can always undo that. Oh, cool. So the next instruction says delete the columns valid from and valid to. So if I scroll to the left, this is valid from. I hold my shift key on my keyboard to select both. I can right click and remove columns. That's quite easy to do also. Close and apply. Okay, I want to close and apply. So what's next? So don't forget you have access to the data sets. Click the link in the YouTube description so you can also download and practice along also. So while that is loading, the next instruction says in the field pane, select the edit query menu option from dim customer. Go in the field pane. So this is the field pane. I'll click on this icon and just edit query again. So it will take us back to Power Query. So in the Power Query editor windows that has opened, how many steps are listed in the apply step section? So if you look at this apply step, we have from the source 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That should be 6 if you are counting the source. The source, let's see. Yeah, that's 6. Oh, we nailed it. Super easy. So it says field aggregation. Now that we have loaded dim customer and cleaned it up, let's create a visualization with it. Power BI automatically sums up numerical fields in a visualization. For example, the default is to show the sum of all the sale totals rather than the average sale total. In this exercise, we will try a new aggregation. So if you lost progress, close any open report and load 2.2 field aggregation the Power BI. So we are on track, so we don't need to close it. So let's click on next. Click close and apply to close the Power Query in case it is still open. So let's click on close and apply. Okay. Now check that Power BI recognize a relationship between fact sale and dim customer. So if you go to the data model view, I want to see if these two tables are actually connected together. So that is when we can actually make sense out of the data. So there's a relationship. I think we'll still get back to this section of creating relationship. You can see. So this is the fact cell, which is one to many. So that is correct. Add a new page tab in the report view. So let's add a new page here. If I go back to the report view as instructed, I click on this add button. I've done that. So make a clustered column chart using buying group from dim customer and total including tax from FAT6. A clustered column chart. I have to look for clustered column charts. This is it. If I drop it there, so it should create it. The visuals will be dropped, but I need to provide the data for it. That will be buying group from dim customer. This is the buying group. So it has dropped that. But I need to provide total including tax from FAT sale. Total including tax. Let's scroll down. Let me minimize this. Total including tax to make sense of the group. So we have the buying group here. So we have the toys not available and wingtip toys. Okay, tailspin toys. And okay, we've done that. So next is to change it so that the value in the minimum of total, change it so that the value is the minimum of total including tax. How do I do that? It says change it. Let me look at the second instruction. The next instruction says change it so that the value is the minimum of total including tax. Change it to what? So I need to figure out what I should change it to. It says change it so that the value is a minimum of total including tax. Okay, the minimum. I should change the aggregation. I guess so. Value aggregation should be minimum. Let's see. Okay, that should be the minimum of total including tax. Okay, I think I figured that out. So the instruction now says, according to the total including tax, how much was the cheapest sale made to tailspin toys? Tailspin toys should be 5.52. 5.52. Let's check that. Oh, we know that. Easy peasy. Nice one there. So if we continue now, I think we're able to solve the challenges there. So let's continue the lessons. I think we're almost through with the second lesson in this chapter. Okay. I still have my Power BI open here. I don't know why it is not taking time to load the reports. Just refresh real quick there.
Let's pick up where we left off and continue cleaning our data. In the data view, we can get the Power Query editor by selecting Transform Data. Let's look again at dim stock item. If we select a column, there are a couple of things to note. For example, for stock item key, we see that the data type is a whole number. This makes sense here, but note there are other options, like percentage. Something like unit price uses decimals. Here we see there's something wrong with recommended retail price. It has a question mark in front of every value, which is probably a processing error. To fix it, we can use replace values to search for all the question marks and replace them with blanks. The data type here is text, but we actually want decimal. Much better. Let's close and apply to save our changes. We now know how to change data types, but what about formatting? For example, say if we wanted to show currency in this bar graph for unit price. We can do that in the data view. I select the unit price column and column tools appears above. I can change the format from general to currency. I can also force decimal places by selecting the comma icon and specifying 2 decimal places. Another useful feature is the summarization field here. Remember last time I had to manually specify average? Here I can set it as the default. We see the $ sign in the graph now, And if I add a card, we see the decimal points. Let's look at geographic data. In the dim city table, we have several columns representing geographic areas. We can put these in a data category, like city or continent. Data categories allow us to specify what type of geographic data the column contains. Using these categories enables us to use a map visualization. Note that the globe icons have shown up next to the city and continent fields, indicating that they are recognized as geographic values by Power BI. For example, we can use the city as location and a numeric value like quantity as the bubble size. Now the circles on the map are proportional to the quantity of items sold in each location. We can see that city was automatically added to location over here, and quantity to the bubble size.
Okay, so another instruction. So transforming columns. Okay, earlier you practiced cleaning data at row level, like deleting erroneous rows or changing the header row. Now we'll take a look at issues at the column level. If you lost progress, open blah blah. I didn't lose any progress, so let's continue. So make sure no bars are selected on the bar graph. Okay, I just have to put the bar graph somewhere here. Just make it a little bit smaller. Create a card visualization with the value credit limit from team customer. I want to drop a card visual. It is a card, it is a slider, it is a card. So let's drop the values inside it. So I want to create a bar with the credit limit from team customer. Okay. From the customer is the credit limit. Oh, sorry about that. Credit limit. Okay, we have an error. So the card should show question mark, which is unexpected. Edit the query of the customer to open up Power Query Editor and fix the credit limit column. So I think we actually open the Power Query Editor from here. Yeah, we can also do that from there. So if you go to the dim customer, so I want to look at the credit limits. Oh, we have it here, this column. So to open the Power Query Editor and fix the credit limit column, so replace the values so that the question mark are replaced with blanks. So I just select the column and I go to replace values here, this feature. So you can say find, you're looking for the question mark. I place with just blanks. That should work. Cool. Worked fine. Repeat so that the asterisks are replaced with blanks for the credit limit column. Because there are some asterisks also. We should repeat same thing. Replace value. Now I'm going for the asterisk blanks. Let's see that. So that is gone. So the first row is gone. Next is change the data type of credit limits from text to decimal number. So just select the column. Data type is text. Let's change that to decimal number. Interesting. We could see some null values there. So close and apply and return to the report view in the card. Change the value to be average credit limit. If I close and apply now, so the visual should change immediately. Let's see. Working on it. Voila. So after cleaning that, it changed. So minimum credit limits. It says you change it to average. So I'll select the credit limit here. I change the aggregation to average. So we now have the average calculation there. So next is what is the average credit card limit of wide world importers customers? Answer formats should be like this. I have to answer it in dollars. That should be 99.53K. Let's submit that. Oh, we got that. Easy peasy. So formatting currency. So now that you know more about formatting data types, let's go back to the first report you made, which should be the first page tab titled sales data. Let's come back here. Take a look at the formatting of the data in the table. Okay. Let's improve the formatting of the profits and the total including tax columns so it's immediately clear their monetary values unlike quantity. Okay. So in the data view of the fat sales, select total including tax. So data view, I have to jump to data view here. I have to select the fat sales table. It says select total including tax. We have to move our mouse to the right. This is total including tax column. Selected. Use column tools. Change the format to currency. Column tools. Format instead of general. Let's change it to currency. Next, change the number of decimal places shown to 2 instead of auto. We can change this to 2. Oh, I selected 3 there. That should take effect. And next is change the default aggregation from sum to average. The default is sum. Let's change that to average. Repeat the same format and decimal place change it to the profit column. Where's the profit column? It's right beside it here. The first thing we did was to change from general to currency. Then rather than, okay, hold up. Rather than sum, change it to average. Then 2 decimal places. Two decimal places. Oh, we are cool. So add a card to your report and select total including tax. So let's go back to the report view. So we should add the card. Let's add the card here, the card visual. So and select total including tax, fat sales. I could just search for it here. Total including tax. Selected. Okay. If applicable, clear any selection on the employee slider so that all employees are considered. Okay, employee slider. This is all. We have the slider from previous live stream. So employees are considered. Next, what does the total including tax card now display? Format should be in dollars. That should be 865 865.82. Let's sum it down. Oh, we know that easily. We are doing great. We still have one more. So making maps with geographical data. So maps are an engaging way to present data with a geographical layer. Imagine we wanted to depict the profits each state in the US generates. We could create a bar chart showing the states and the profits they generate. However, since there are 50 states, a map is much easier to scan for patterns and outliers. That's true. So load the dimension table, dimcity.csv. So we're now loading a new table, a CSV file, dimcity, dimension city. So it now says go to the model view. I could just load without transforming. Let us just load that without transforming. Okay, I should go to the model view. So the model view is here. Okay, a minute. Let's check for relationship. Exactly. So there's a relationship between. Oh, let me just unzoom it a little bit. Okay, I think this is better. I would love my fat cells to be in the center, so I could just create like a star schema relationship. That would look much more easier. I could just bring this one down a little bit. So this should be here. This one can be here. I want to create a star schema view, which is much more interesting and easy to view. Yeah, this is much more better. And so we will get to all this as we move along through the course. So there's a relationship. So this is our fact table, and the one surrounding it is our dimension table. So they are actually connected to primary key and foreign key. So we get to that stage as we move along to the lessons. So I've done that. So go to the model view and make sure a relationship is found between dim city and fat cell. We have that. In the data view, change the data category of dim cities, state province to state or province. So go to the data view, then we select the dim city table. It says we should change let me zoom that in a little bit more. This is fair. So we should change the dim city state province, select the column so we can categorize the data, boil and beta state or province. And this will actually make the data to be useful. So if you do not categorize the data properly, and you're trying to do a map visual, you'll just be getting error, or you get a wrong visual actually. So make sure that the default summarization for profit from fat sales is average. That's to go to the fat sales table, and the default you can change the default summarization here for profits. So these are column tools, is average, correct? In the report view, so heading back to the report view right away. In the report view, navigate to the second tab. Our new page. It says we should create a map visualization. Let's create a map visual. Field map. There are different type of map. Okay, this is another map. Let me select this one first. Okay. It says create a map visualization using state province. Let's select state province. As location and profit as bubble. Let's select the profit from fat sales as bubble. We nailed it. So let's see add a slicer for the buying group. Add a slicer for the buying group field from the dim customer. A slicer. Okay, let's see. Let's add a slicer. Just drop it here. So I could just select my charts and let's look for the slicer. This slicer here. Okay, we have our slicer. The slicer should contain buying group from dim customer. We have it here. So the next instruction says using the map and the slicer, which states generate the highest average profit for wingtip toys. Let's select wingtip toys. So the slicer this visual should, I think I'm seeing Washington. Yeah, Washington has the highest bubble size. So based on average calculation, the profit is $465. So that should be the highest. Oh, easy peasy. Wow, we just actually finished this chapter in less than 39 minutes. And we actually practiced quite a lot of stuff. Oh, wow, transforming data. So we learned quite a lot in few minutes. Oh, we are moving now to chapter 3. Definitely, we just have to take a break here because we actually started this transforming data section just on today's live stream, and we actually covered it very quick. So that'll be the end of the live stream for today. We learned a lot. Back to course page. So all the files. So we have and we've completed 2 chapters in this introduction to Power BI. We have visualizing data and filtering to go. So that's something. We have at least an hour to go. All right, so that will be the end of the live stream for today. So if you found value in these videos, in the live streaming, do let me know in the comment section. Do not forget all the files, the data sets, click the link under the description so you can easily download it and practice along also. The goal is to practice. Don't just watch. Make sure you're practicing immediately also and following the instructions in the video. That's the best way to learn. All right, do not forget to subscribe. Give the video a thumbs up. Support the channel by subscribing and put on the notification bell so you'll be the first when I go live on day 3. I'm probably going live tomorrow. Yeah, we are moving at a good pace. So I'll see you on day 3. Do not forget put on the notification bell so you'll be the first when I go live and you can actually catch up on day 3. Thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next video.